Alright, I'm just going to hit it with the silver primer here and just kind of like into this area, and that'll protect it. Keep the water out of the Bondo until I can get to buy the gray paint, which I'm going to do. It's just that I can only buy so many things at one time. This will help protect it. Not as good as paint, but it will help. It's better than putting nothing on at all. Alright. Well, running out of time here. The problem is I have to start so late in the afternoon, like around 1:30, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's about 4:30 now, is it?
4:35.
Yeah, we're pretty close. 4:35. I have to run out to pick up some grinders for supper tonight, so I can't go out looking like this. Alright, now this is Rust Reformer here. This came out pretty good. Pretty darn smooth. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the Rust Reformer and I'm going to spray on the lower part of the door on the inside, and I'm going to let that set up, and that'll be it for today. And 24 hours from now I'll prime that and prime these and then paint. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this paint thing here to keep paint off of things when you're painting, and I'm just going to put it up underneath there, and I'm going to hold it back, and then I'm going to spray this. But before I do that, I want to scrape some more out with the screwdriver. Get as much rust out as I can. It's not going to be perfect. You know, the right way to do it is to take the damn door off and grind it down. And, you know, it's a huge job. And I'm not going to do that. So I got masking tape on the rubber right now. Just keep it from getting that stuff on there. I'm going to clean that up, and then I'll come back on the video when I get it cleaned up.
Open the door for you.
That's as good as I can get it. I'll put you over here so you can see. Rust Reformer. There's no thing in here. No agitator in the can. Okay, we recording? Yep. Now, what I'm going to do is I get as much up underneath here as I can, like I did the other side. And then, when I come back on it again, I'll try to get some more rust off if I can, and Bondo it, and prime it, and call it good. That's it. Okay, gonna let that dry. We're gonna leave this door open for a few minutes and make sure it stops dripping. And then I'll take the masking tape off the rubber here and close her van up for the night. Everything here is dry. The only thing that's been applied to the rust reform has been only on the rust part, and I made sure I wiped down the painted surfaces if it did get on it. Good morning, folks. Well, today I can get a little earlier start because it's a little bit cooler. Even though I'll be working in the sun, it's not going to be too bad, I don't think. And I'm going to be working on the bottom of the door. This is the next day now, so we're going to continue on with the passenger door rust repair, and if time permits, I want to do the two side doors on the van also. So let's get started. All right. I hate to remove this. It's in here so nice, but all right. I'm only gonna. Now this is glued up underneath here, as you can see, and I've got another bottle of contact cement I picked up this morning. So all I need is just to get this out of here so I can grind this with the wire brush. And there's some rust up in here too. And I'll continue taking this off camera here. I can't even see the viewfinder, the sun's right in it. All right, we're gonna do this off camera, and I'll tie it back. I don't want to pull too much of it. It's really on there nice, and I don't like to upset it. I don't need to take this off. I just need the bottom so I can get the wire wheel in there. And then we're not gonna have time. I want to finish this today, so we're not going to use the rust reformer on it. We're just going to use the etching primer, and we're going to paint it. Let's see. This is not easy. I'm not going to get too fussy with this because I'm going to be chewing up the rubber. I ain't pulling this gasket all the way off. I will not do that. I don't even know if we're in camera view. I don't have my reading glasses, so I can't tell. Hell, there's rust in here. You know, I'll probably hit that with some sandpaper, and then I'll prime it. It's not too bad. There's a drain hole here, and there's a drain hole here. We have to make sure that those are clear. All right, and they're clear there. Clear there. I'm underneath the door here, laying on my back, and I sanded this. This is a drain hole, as I showed you before. This I don't think is a drain hole. I think it's a rust hole, and I'm going to leave it because the water can drain out of that. Here's another drain hole here, and this is where the contact cement was, or whatever was holding that rubber in. So I'm going to prime this. I got to mask this off here so we don't get onto the vinyl on the inside here. I'm going to mask this, and then I'm going to spray the self-etching primer all the way through here. All the way through. And I don't think I need any Bondo in here. After I get that in and get it painted, then I'm going to take some WD-40 and I'm just going to shoot it up in there as much as I can on a spout. The best I can do. You know, you really need to take the door apart and cover the inside with oil. I'm not going to do that. So that's what we're going to do right now. I'm going to finish a little more sanding on this. I did a lot of wire brushing, and this is the best I can get it. All right, I got the self-etching primer on there, and we don't need to Bondo that. So we're going to hit it with the, after this dries, of course, I'm going to hit it with the white, and that'll take care of the bottom of the door. I've got the self-etching primer on there in this area here, and we'll let that dry up good, and then this is almost dry. This is actually dry, but we're going to let everything dry here, and then I'll hit it with the white in the areas that need to be white. Like this area here needs to be white. This area down here needs to be gray, so it'll have the gray paint. I'll show you what I bought for paint. This is what I bought, Exo Rust paint and primer in one. So that's going to be the gray that I'm going to do down here. And I'm just going to cover up these stripes. I'm not even going to worry about the stripes. I'm not even going to try to restripe it. And this matches, as close as I can tell, pretty much to the one that's here. So we're going to take and hit the other side, the driver's side, with this now while this all is drying. I'm just going to mask this off and paint all this here, including this. I'll Bondo over this at another time, but I'm going to mask that all off now and get ready to do that. We'll do that off camera. Once I get this door done and everything, then I can start on these two doors here. And these aren't as bad. This was some regular paint I put in here a long time ago, and it's a little rough, but it isn't too bad. This is the aluminum paint. We'll just sand that off and we'll just prime that, and that should be good. The primer's dry, so I hit it with the white. Now I hit it with the white here, but I'm gonna actually, this has got to be gray, so there's no problem. We'll just paint over that, but I'm not ready to do that yet. What I am ready to do, this is pretty dry here. The paint is dry, and we'll wait a little while longer. We'll get some contact cement on it, and we'll put this rubber back up here. Now, I didn't get fussy and put Bondo in here. I just cleaned the rust off as much as I could. Left this hole here because the water can come through. See, there's one here that's a drain hole. And this one is, I guess it's a rust hole. I don't think it's a drain hole, but I'm going to use it as one. And there's a little hole here. All this helps the water to drain out, you know, and that's important. Apparently it drains out behind the rubber. Alright, I don't know how well you can see me, but I've got the contact cement here. And what this has to do, we have to do with this, we have to put contact cement up in here. And then we have to drive it up and make sure that it sits in the right position. So it ends just where this rust hole is here, and that's perfect. It's almost like it's a drain hole probably at one time, I don't know, but so you always, then when these two pieces come together from the left and right side, I don't know if you can see that or not, but there's a space between here, and that's purposely done for the water to drain out of that center hole, I think. But that's the way it is on the driver's side too, and that I didn't have to take out. So what I'm going to do now is get some masking tape ready. I got a brand new roll of this, so I picked that up today. So we're gonna coat both surfaces and let it set for the allotted time, and we'll put it together, and we'll come back on the video when I get it glued up. Actually, if you want to watch me glue it up, I'm sure you probably watched videos on how to use contact cement. I've been using contact cement for more years than I care to count. Alright, so there's a space in there, that's what you want, and it's lined up with that hole there. And the other holes look like they're covered up, but the water, I guess, gets behind it and comes out. And over here I took the masking tape off. Now this is all painted a white, where you can see this is the difference in shade here, but this is the paint, the only paint you can get for the van. Duplicolor original, duplicates original Ford colors. So now when I close this door, which I'm going to do now, alright, I'm going to take this paint I showed you earlier in the video, the paint and primer in one, the gray, and this whole area, this and all this will get painted. I have to inspect this door here to see if the bottom is okay. And this feels good here. There's just might be a tiny bit of rust on the bottom here. I'm not sure. I'll open that later. And I'm going to paint all this and not worry about these stripes. Before I do, I'll lightly sand it. I don't know what they used on the van, but there seems to be, up here, this is like a decal. And I just painted it with a brush, but I didn't finish it all here. You can see the shininess with the red paint. Painted it by hand, masked it off and everything. But that's like a decal, like this here. I ain't gonna get too fussy with it, just as long as it looks halfway decent. But I'm gonna mask all this off here, and this is all gonna be solid gray. I'm just gonna paint it all solid gray. I'm not gonna worry about this white here. Paint it all solid gray all the way through. Paint this solid gray, which is what it was before. Well, it was gray before, but it had the stripes in it. We're not going to deal with that. We might even be able to paint right up to here. I got to work on this door, but I'm going to inspect this door first before I do that, and then once I finish that, I can take the rest of this masking tape off because I'm going to have overspray from the gray, and I don't want it on the white part.